find up there that's worth so much?
Perhaps a new world, the better world they're all talking about. Oh, I know that some people can't understand. You don't see it either, do you?
Well, I can't say I agree with you, if that's what you mean.
I'm longing to see. I hope that she turns out to be someone who'd walk over me.
Confusion, I'm confused in my own thoughts and aggression. I ain't never been the type to try to impress them. I'm the type to chunk deuces if I don't see a progression. They use sex as a weapon, I see my sex as a blessing. And I'm
What's going on, people? We're back. Tru Radio and WLVS Radio coming to you live from the city. We got a different panel up here. You know, we switch it up. Tru Radio Network is interchangeable. That's how we do. We got my man 151 in the building. What's going on, sir?
What's going on? It's me, Mr. 151, your local alcoholic, just doing what I do best. And actually, I'm not sober today. You know, I had a couple of drinks already.
That's good. Hey. That means no telling what might go down tonight if he already had some drinks. Last time we had him on, it was sober. And it was still a good time, but now with alcohol involved, who knows what the hell might happen tonight. DC People's Champ over in the side, nigga Cam. How you doing over there tonight, good sir?
I just got off of doing my podcast, and now I'm here doing this one. This is what we do, man. This is Tru Radio. This is how we roll.
It's the radio life, baby. You love it. If you love it, it ain't a day of work in it, baby. It's all love and passion.
That's right.
So we have a special in the studio guest, excuse me. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and let folks know who you are and what you are out here doing today.
What's going on? I'm Samuel Blanco. Probably one of the hottest artists in the DMV right now, up and coming. I only been doing this thing for 60 days, and I got better music than all of you rappers.
Oh, okay. I like that.
All right, talk your shit. Talk your shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Talk your shit, but I'm going to tell you, you got to back that shit up.
How about that? Yeah.
Back it up.
You can back that shit up, because I got a playlist that's a mean motherfucker, dog.
Uh-oh. See?
That's what's up.
He is the king of independent music, so he has some fire sitting in his flash drive over there probably.
Yeah, exactly.
So you said you've just been in the game for 60 days, so what inspired you to, step into this game, and what makes you feel that you're the best in this game and makes you different from some of these other artists out here? Because I'll let you know now, I'm going to be your toughest critic, because I'm an old school rap dude. If you ain't got lyrics and can't, support your own album of 9 tracks without having 20 other dudes on the joint, because you can't spit, 5-6 bars, I ain't got time for it.
Right. So basically in 2016, between 2016 2017, I had a little, a slight little run-in with the law, and I had to go sit down for a couple of months when I was reinserted back into society back in 2018. It was just like it's time for me to try to do something positive, become, I want to say a kind of like a figurehead in the community, and I can kind of do that through music, because a lot of these kids these days look up to the rappers, and they don't really look up to like your counselors or your businessmen. So I wanted to show them that even though you can rap, but you can still kind of like dabble in other things too, and you're not a sucker, or you're not sweet or nothing like that. So I kind of want to be an inspiration to the youth.
Cool. So now we're about to put you in this hot seat. So what do you look for in production?
Go a little deep into that question for me.
You can't get no. It's production. Like, what do you look for in your beats? Like,
so all the beats that I have, I work with my engineer on the beat, so it's 50-50. I look for kind of bounce, if you can kind of like dance to it, all the new dance moves. I kind of like try them out myself, even though I can't dance. But if I can kind of do it on the beat, I know the kids can try to can do it on the beat. So I kind of look for the bounce. I kind of hear if it's like a different sound. I'm not considered a typical DMV artist, so I want to say I kind of look for a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of shazazz, a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of that, plus like it's still a little trap, still a little, you know.
Okay. How many songs you got that we can look forward to?
Right now I got an EP out. It got 3 songs on it. I have 2 singles out, and I just dropped a single yesterday, actually.
Okay, cool. DC People's Champ, you got any questions for this man?
Yes, I do. So, what influenced you to even get into doing music? What influenced you to get into this game, whether it be just rapping or anything like that? What kind of influences or what around you influenced you to do it?
Really, I want to say it was just, I mean, it's time. Like, the DMV is getting a lot of looks as far as, like, the labels and other radio stations, DJs out in and outside of the region. It's basically time for the DMV to kind of, like, stand up and show the world that we got talent here, too.
True.
So, are you handling the business aspect of the music business right?
Yeah. I'm trying to. I got some good people in my corner that's getting me straight on copyright and everything.
Cause that's my next question. Like, how many copyrights do you have?
Just on 2 of my songs out of the 7 I have.
You just got 2 copyrighted?
Mm-hmm.
How many copyright per song do you have?
Just 1 each.
You did it wrong. Yeah, you're supposed to have 3 different copyrights.
3?
So yeah, so 1 is your lyrics, 2 is the beat,
Right.
and then the 3rd one is actually the beat and the lyrics together.
Gotcha. So I just did the beat and the lyrics together, and I thought that covered the whole thing.
No, because when they look at you,
right?
Because this is what I do. I manage. I got artists, and I do my own internet radio show, and I used to rap and all that good stuff, yada yada. So when they look at your business aspect, so say if a movie person wanted to use your song, because your business is not right, you don't have all 3 things copyrighted, they may pass over because they'll sit down and be like, hey, how many do you have? And when they look at the song and it's not registered through ASCAP or BMI or they don't see none of that, they're going to be like, oh, well, you don't have your ASCAP, you have a BMI, and you misuse your copy. People look at that and they'll be like, well, you know what, they can easily get over on you.
Right.
Definitely got to learn the ins and outs of the game.
Right. See, it's good to have, people school
and,
you.
And I didn't learn that until last year, to be honest.
Because
I happened to be in a music class. Like, you're never too old to learn anything. So I happened to be in a music class somebody was teaching, and they broke it down. Like, you really need 3 different copyrights per song.
Wow. That's some deep stuff right there. See how we learning stuff on Tru Radio and WLVS Wednesday night.
Take notes.
You know what I'm saying? We got knowledge coming from all this. I had no idea about that, but that's some good info. Engineer Igor, we got the music keyed up for this for the track. All right, we're gonna go to the track. You want to introduce the track that you sent off to forward with us to play tonight?
I was given MP3 like to play it and to let you in the air or what?
Say that again, Igor.
Do you want me to play it on a break or right now? Like?
You can just run it. That's cool. You want to go ahead and introduce your track? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm guessing this is 2200.
Okay. That what we got? That's what we got, Igor? He said he sent over 2. Which one is this?
2200.
2200?
Yes, sir.
Let's check it out.
Fucking endless hoes while we out on tour. Can't get my soul to you. Rock stars, yeah. We rock stars, yeah. Fucking bars, yeah. Been through it all, yeah. Can't lose it all, yeah. Rock stars, yeah. We rock stars, yeah. Fucking bars, yeah. Been through it all, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was with Polo Stacks on the track.
Yes,
Polo,
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
my
sir.
dude. That's my dude. That's my dude.
Shout out to Polo.
Shout out to
Yes,
Polo.
sir.
You're
Shout
gonna
out
have
to
to have a
Polo.
lot of energy to keep up with Polo. That's my
No
dude.
doubt, no doubt. He
definitely
always
cool.
grinding.
Yeah. That dude, like performance, like I've seen him perform and grow, and literally like travel. Like he was doing out of town shows before out of town shows was cool and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's a good mentor to have. So salute Polo. That's my dude.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt.
Yes, sir.
Well, before we let you get about it, give you a quick shout out to, plug where you can find your music at and where to follow you at so we can keep an eye on you and see what's going on with your music as you grow in this game.
Right now, I'm on all platforms, Samuel Blanco. On Instagram, I'm Samuel with 2 L's _Blanco. Samuel Blanco.
Be on the lookout.
So you on Spotify?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Spotify, iTunes.
Tidal, YouTube, SoundCloud. Anywhere you can get a song, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, you got your ass cap and your BMI and all that good stuff.
BMI, don't got the ass cap yet.
Okay, but you got one of them,
yeah,
so that's
I got
good.
one, yeah.
Okay. I gotta ask. I just want to make sure that you taking care of the business.
Yeah, I know. Stack's been.
He businessman. You know to deal with Stacks. He's a
He been like,
businessman.
you need this, and this. You better get it.
Yeah,
No
so
doubt, no
definitely.
doubt.
And I'm sure he's gonna take care of you. And he's a good mentor, man.
Mm-hmm.
Salute the Stacks. Salute with that.
All right, well, say we could take a quick break before we get into the sports and entertainment and current events segment. Give us about 4 or 5 minutes, play a track, Eagle, and we'll come back with some sports and some current events and maybe even some politics.
And CP3 is gonna beatbox.
I just might.
Oh God! All right.
Hood beatbox.
Rock stars, yeah, yeah. We rock stars, yeah, yeah. Fucking frauds, yeah, yeah. Been through it all, yeah, yeah. Can't lose it all, yeah, yeah. Rock stars, yeah, yeah. We rock stars, yeah, yeah. Fucking frauds, yeah, yeah. Been through it all, yeah, yeah. Can't lose it all, yeah, yeah. Moving peace, I am a trap star. Fucking bitches in these space cars. These niggas be cap talk about they going hard, yeah. And I ain't talking money, ain't no time for. You wanna play, you gotta sign for. I'm all about the game like I'm the overlord, yeah. Rock stars, yeah, yeah. Rock stars, yeah, yeah. We rock stars, yeah, yeah. Fucking frauds, yeah, yeah. Been through it all, yeah, yeah. Can't lose it all, yeah, yeah. Rock stars, yeah, yeah. Rock stars, yeah, yeah. We rock stars, yeah, yeah. Fucking frauds, yeah, yeah. Been through it all, yeah, yeah. Can't lose it all, yeah. I'm not no regular nigga. You just tell I think. No, this ain't no regular money. Too much to go put in the bank. When they go put in the work, and move me up in the ranks. I'm on that bad Ferraris. I'm trying to go buy me a chain. Hit 'em a stab for the first. No, that ain't my regular rate. Ain't no more struggling. Now that I'm hustling, I eat my script with the stage. Now they gon' give me some money. Ain't no more running in place. I'ma make it to the top by doing whatever it takes. I cannot fuck with no fake, and don't need a rookie relate. I just keep chasing the money. That money just never gon' give me a break. Checking my head, it's straight. I cannot fuck with the chase. Every day bagging, I'm chasing the bag, and I'm doing this shit that they can't. Rock stars, yeah, yeah. Rock star, yeah, yeah. We rock stars, yeah, yeah. Fucking frauds, yeah, yeah. Been through it all, yeah, yeah. Can't lose it all, yeah, yeah. Rock stars, yeah, yeah. Rock stars, yeah, yeah. We rock stars, yeah, yeah. Fucking frauds, yeah, yeah. Been through it all, yeah, yeah. Can't lose it all,
And we're back. Tru Radio on WLVS Radio, coming to you live from DC. That was a great segment with a young and up and coming artist that we're going to be on the lookout for. What was your impressions of the young kid?
I think he young. He got a lot of talent. One thing I'll tell him is this: as with anybody, is you want to be great, but stay humble, because there is a threshold of talent out here, and it's growing on a daily basis.
True. The industry is just changing. You know, you don't need to go through the labels and need to do all the other stuff. You can just get on YouTube, and next thing you know, you're one-hit wonder, and then, you know, you put out a bunch of other crap that don't do nothing. But
I mean, once you get a one-hit wonder, I mean, like, you know, Panda was a song that had the same verse 3 times.
You know, I've never listened to that song.
But the beat was so infectious. But, you know.
I've never listened to that song.
Yeah, and we're a designer now, but he's still eating a check. He's eating
no
good
doubt.
off of Panda.
He's still eating off Panda,
know
dog. Don't get it fucked up. He's still
don't
eating
get
off
me wrong.
Panda.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, you know, it's a whole nother language.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's get into the sports roundup.
Hey, I'm not the side nigga no more. I'm in the middle now.
Oh, so you a middleman?
So you was never a side nigga, but you was always a middleman.
He's always the middleman.
Damn, we got to examine that on another show.
Yeah, we do.
Damn, man, that's some shit. Anyway,
oh, that's some shit. But yeah, it's definitely getting interesting sports time. You got baseball season starting. I'm going to go on a little rant at the end of the sports section after the game last night, because a lot of undertones and a lot of things were said and done. Well, not even said. A lot of things were done in that game that, you know, I was going to leave alone, but after watching the replay, I got to speak on it. But let's switch gears. Let's talk about the Capitals, who are still fighting for the Metro Division. They've already clinched the playoffs. Tickets are being printed up as we speak. But it's 2 games left in the season. They face Montreal tomorrow. The New York Islanders face Florida, who this team just lost to 5-3 the other night. If they would have won the other night, they would have clinched the division and everything would have been set. But if the Islanders lose and the Capitals win tomorrow night, the Capitals clinch. Now, if the Capitals choke and don't win and the Islanders win, the last game of the season is the Capitals versus the Islanders here at Capital One. So it will be for the Metro Division title and the number 2 seed in the East, who has home ice advantage until the Eastern Conference Finals, when they would face Tampa Bay if they make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals again. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
So what do you think the Caps' chances are?
I've been saying it all year. I feel like the Caps can go back to back. You know, they've had some subtractions, but they have some quality additions. You had Jacob Rana step up. He's got 23 goals this year. TJ Oshie, the steady force. Alex Ovechkin leading the league with 51 goals. Backstrom still silently doing this thing. Kuzi coming to his own. I think this team is deep. When they went on the run they did last year, I feel like they know what to do. They know how to win. And the only question mark that's been said that I don't have is about the goaltending. Folks have been saying that Braden Holtby isn't the Holtby that he was last year on that run. But when playoffs start, everything changes. We're going to see how it goes. But as of right now, I believe it's looking like the Capitals would face Columbus Blue Jackets in the first round, just like they did last year when they went down 0-2, but then won 4 straight and knocked Columbus out, which they are still salty about.
I would be too.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a good game, because Columbus, despite earlier I saying with all the moves they made at the trade deadline, because normally that doesn't turn out well for a team, the fact that they're still fighting for a playoff spot with the loaded roster that they have now, they become a very formidable team. They've been playing better defense, and they can score. They have scoring on all 4 lines, so it's not going to be the same matchup as last year, but I still feel the Caps are loaded. And when they play their style and play defense and do what they're supposed to do, they can't be beat.
Bet.
What do you say, DC People's Champ? What is your feeling about the Caps in these last 2 games trying to clinch the Metro?
This is what the Caps need to do in order to repeat. Because as we've seen in the past, when they cruise into the playoffs, they never perform well. Those couple of seasons where they won the President's Cup and clinched it in January or February, and they just cruise into the playoffs with nothing to play for, then they come into the playoffs and they come in flat. So having them in a situation where they're fighting, they're already in the playoffs, yes, but they're playing for positioning in the playoffs. You give them something to play for going into the playoffs, you're going to see what this team is made of. We saw this last year. Last year, it came down to the final week of the season before they won the division. And look what happened. They went on a run. They finally beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs. They went on to win the Stanley Cup. If they're going to repeat, this is what needs to happen, period. And I saw a news story earlier that Ovi is, which I'm not surprised he said this, but Ovi is definitely aiming to try to become the all-time goal-scoring leader in NHL history. He's trying to take on Wayne Gretzky's mark. He still needs 237 goals to do it, and he's 33.
He can do it, brother. I knew that. It only makes sense that he would make that his goal. He's already the highest all-time rushing scorer in the league ever. And he's climbing up the chart on the all-time goals list. I think he's at like number 5, tied for 15 now. So he hasn't. That's the beautiful thing about Ovi. He's played 12 seasons and he's only missed 30 games due to injury. And with the physical style that he plays, that's unheard of. And the fact that he can still produce offensively like he does, and not just goal scoring, but the assists. I believe he has almost 30 assists this season, and nobody really talks about his passing. But now he has evolved into a total player that plays, 200 feet. He isn't a defensive guru by no stretch of the imagination, but he's back checking. He's playing defense. He's not clearing the zone when he think the team has the puck, and then when it gets turned over, then the team is shorthanded because he's trying to go score. He's a team captain. He's a true NHL complete player, and I love the dude. I'm glad that they drafted him. I'm glad that he's going to be a lifetime cap, and I'm glad that he bought the cup here finally.
Damn.
Hey, man, I've been a lifelong Caps fan, man. Once you go to a live hockey game, you're going to be hooked. That's all I got to say. But
that's still on my bucket list to do. Go to the Caps game.
Oh, brother, you got it. I haven't been in a long time. I'm going to go ahead and age myself. I haven't been to a live Caps game since USA Arena.
Wow.
Yeah, I would never say nothing like that.
Damn, you an old street nigga.
I'm an old nigga. I used to live behind the USA Arena. That's how old I am.
You an old street
nigga.
Yeah,
bro.
He used to rob niggas behind the USA Arena.
Man, why you got to be man, damn it, man. The views expressed on this show is solely the views of 151.
Yo.
That's allegedly. You got to put I have no charge.
Allegedly, but
allegedly. Damn it, man.
But if you ever been jacked up by a dude that loves sports, that when you abide around the USA Arena, there's a good 80% chance.
Hey, man.
Allegedly, it could be CP3.
It could be this nigga.
Or if
he said he pissed on females. I'm just saying.
Or if your sister got tinkled on.
All right, let's switch gears before this show falls off the rails. We also have NCAA Final Four action coming up tomorrow, Saturday this weekend. We have number 5 Auburn against the only number 1 seed left in the tournament, Virginia. They tip off at 6:09. And then we also have, after that, number 3 Texas Tech going against number 2 Michigan State, which tips off at 8:49. Ironically, I haven't watched one college basketball game this season, but in our bracket poll on Sports on the Hill podcast, which comes on every Monday night from 7 to 9 on Tru Radio Network. Shameless plug. I'm actually number 1 in the Final Four bracket.
Like, how is that even possible?
Bruh,
are you cheating?
No, man. I just looked at the bracket and just, started picking stuff. And
you are a street dude that pees on women.
Listen, 151, you just why you in my head like that, man?
We just gotta put the facts out there.
I gotta throw allegedly out there again, man. It hasn't been proven.
That you peed on women?
It hasn't been proven.
You admitted it on this show.
No bullshit. I'm about to say, hold up, dog.
I need to see this. I'm pulling the Trump. I need to see the tape.
Oh my God.
I did not say that. But getting back to the Final Four.
Okay.
Yes, ironically, I'm in first place, and I had Michigan State winning it all. If they pull it off, I win it for the first time ever. I've never been in the bracket before, but it's ironic that a person that haven't watched one college basketball game all season might win the whole damn thing. But the guys that watch almost every game, they know the stats and everything.
Yeah, that's real. That's really odd.
Yes, that's sports, man. That's NCAA.
It's either sports or somebody's crooked.
It was computer based, man. It was on Yahoo Sports, man. I ain't got the Russians on my side, bro. I just filled out the bracket and let it fall how it may.
No comment.
What is that? What is that cologne you wearing? CP3. Is that
Which
Ola
one?
Ola old bullshit or? I don't know.
It's cannabis for men, nigga. DC People's Champ. Have you caught any of the NCAAs? I heard it's been some very good action. Like I said, I haven't watched.
As a matter of fact, I actually watched the Duke game this over the weekend when they got beat by Michigan State. I actually watched that.
I hate Duke.
seeing Zion. Let me tell you something. Seeing Zion Williamson in action, that dude is a freak of nature, man.
Yeah.
That's a big nigga that be moving like a fucking guard. That shit is crazy, man.
Just wait till he comes to the NBA.
Oh yeah, but no, I actually got to watch some of that, and I also got to watch Texas Tech as well. As a matter of fact, I saw I think 3 Elite Eight games, and they were all very exciting games. The only one I didn't get to see was Virginia. That was the only one I didn't see, but it's setting up to be a very, very dramatic Final Four when you got Virginia being the lone number 1 left, and you got 3 teams that I think no one really thought were going to make it that far, but they're here now. And if I had to pick one, just based on what I've seen so far, I would think that Virginia would probably come out as the national champion, but let's not sleep on Michigan State.
Yeah, that's who I'm riding with. Even though I haven't watched him play one game, that's who I'm riding with. But also we have some other basketball news, which I've been hoping for I don't know how long. With the Washington Wizards finally giving Ernie Grunfeld, the GM, his walking papers after 16 seasons.
Get the fuck out of here.
I guess that those pictures of Ted Leonsis he had, I guess Ted finally got him out of his safe or whatever because he gave him his walking papers. And I'm ecstatic. I mean, I'm not a Wizards fan, but I don't know how that dude kept a job with some of the moves that he made. I mean, he salvaged it towards, with some of the trade deadline moves that he made. They were some solid moves, and, I can't complain about that. But his long track record of ineptitude and not being able to balance this roster with the talent that it has and enough veteran presence, I'm glad he's gone. I just can't wait to see who they're going to fill in the void. Ken, I know you watch the Wizards a lot more closely. What do you feel about this move, and who do you think is a prime candidate that might fill in that GM role?
First of all, it's about fucking time they got that guy the fuck out of here. Thank God. Get him out of here. If I ever hear that name ever again, it'll be too fucking soon. That's number 1. Number 2, I actually saw a report earlier that the Wizards are actually targeting the Nuggets GM for the role of the president of basketball operations. And apparently the guy has a very good reputation as a great basketball operations executive. And that's what they need. They need somebody in there that can make smart executive decisions and great basketball operations moves and great transactions when it comes to the team, because the team has a good core of young players there. They just need to be able to cultivate it and bring it all together. Actually, the Wizards just finished their game against the Bulls just a little while ago here in D.C., and they lost by 1 to the Bulls, 115-114. And Thomas Bryant, who I feel is going to have a good future in the NBA, had 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists for the Wizards. But I think that, that's pretty dope. I like that. But he's got a bright future. Another person who has a bright future is Troy Brown Jr., who over the weekend, during their West Coast trip, had a career-high 27 points. And he's just a rookie. So you figure that with the time that he has, he could definitely mature and blossom into a great player. So I'm glad that Ernie Grunfeld's out of here. I'm glad that they got him the hell out of here. I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to see him. Nothing. Get him out. Get him the fuck out of here. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
Yes,
Piece
sir.
of trash.
I agree. But finally, they have that cross to bear. Hopefully they can get things together. And like they always say, there's always next year. But
isn't that seem to me the line of all DC sports teams? There's always next year.
I wasn't trying to go there.
Listen, man. I'm gonna keep it 100% with y'all, man.
Well,
That's
damn
what
it,
is.
yeah, that is the motto of most DC sports teams. The Caps finally pulled it off last year. Hopefully they do back to back. But unfortunately, yes, that is the motto of DC sports. I can't deny it.
Yep,
it's out there. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And on the final spot, I'm gonna go ahead and get on my MLB soapbox for a minute. I meant to bring my National Sports on the Hill podcast. I had to switch up.
Well, talk about it.
But
talk about it, King.
All right, I'm on the record saying I really don't have a problem with Bryce Harper going to the Phillies. You know, that's where he wanted to be at. Cool. He took less money because he wanted the money front loaded and not on the back end. Cool. Only thing I had a problem with yesterday, the Phillies beat the Nationals 8-2. You know, we know who Bryce is. I love Bryce, so I'm not going to come from the hater angle, but I didn't notice it last night, so I went back and looked at the tape. Now, when you hit a home run, I don't know if you know 151, you know, certain players do a bat flip, you know, like the exclamation point on the home run. Yeah. Now, he hit a 482-foot home run. It was a monster shot, but the bat flip after the home run was a little much. He flipped his bat like he had just walked off the World Series. And then the celebration with his teammates after he hit the home run. All players have personal celebrations after they score. Boom, 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 something happened. But he made sure he personally dapped up everybody in the Phillies lineup.
So let's play devil's advocate here. You being a street dude, you being a bully dude, right? Mm-hmm. You've won up a nigga before, right?
No doubt.
And you let them know that you won up them, right?
True.
You really can't be too mad.
I'm not mad at him. It's just just
saying because it's something that you've done.
But it's the first game of 19 that these teams are going to play each other all season. The first game, back
and you gotta let them know. But you gotta let them know on that first game.
You might be right, 151.
You know, like the first time you pissed on a chick.
Allegedly.
You can't say allegedly. You said it on the freaking show.
Show me the tape.
Or the first time you robbed a dude. I mean, you know. You know, it's like
I'm just saying.
You gonna flip your gun? Be like, hey,
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you to an extent. But just the oomph that he did it with was like, really, my nigga. It's the third game. It's the fourth game of the season.
But dude, we all had those moments where
where
we've done.
True.
Oh, I got that. You know what I'm saying?
They did have a traitor sign in the stands. You know.
Exactly.
They did have that. They did boo. I mean, but I was like, come on. Really?
Dog, it's just like when you leave a job you leave a job and then you go to your new job and you just happen to have like a meeting or an event at your old job and you just walk in with your swag up like, yeah, bitch, look at me now. That's basically what that is right there.
I mean, honestly, I really like when I got my new job. I really felt like going back to my old job and be like, damn, y'all niggas suck. Just on the GP, like I'm making more money, I'm happy, you know. And then when I found out the old director left because she couldn't hack it without my help, I was even more. I really wanted to just go in there and just be like. And honestly, if it wasn't too far, I probably would have.
Yo, I actually did.
I'm petty.
I didn't switch jobs when I got forced retired. I actually had a moment like that.
Yeah,
because we were getting our severance package that I had to fill out for. Now I work on the 1 a.m. shift. They were supposed to come in at like 7 a.m. so we can do everything cool. They changed the time to noon, so I got to sit around there for 2-3 hours off the clock, waiting to get my walking papers after I just worked, which I didn't work, but I said I worked.
Yeah, I know.
So
street nigga.
So
word.
I'm like, so y'all gonna make? I'm like, you know, then they're gonna try to get me to go do work while I'm waiting on them to come to sign my papers.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So I look at this dude like, really, my nigga? It's my last day. Matter of fact, it was my birthday that I was getting my walking papers.
Oh, they got you,
bro. I mean, it was a forced retirement. They were relocating right after I bought my house because that's the only way they can get rid of me. Like I said, that's a whole nother story. But the point I'm saying is my boss gonna come up to me and like, well, I need you to go out there and work, yada 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 yada. Now the street nigga in me came out at that moment.
Like, no, nigga.
It was nobody around. I walked up to him close. It was like, dude, this is my last day working here. I know what time you get off. I know where you live. I know where your wife works. I know where your kids go to school at. Do you really want to mess with me right now?
Hey, yo. He really was street
nigga.
And then,
you know, you got to have those moments sometime. And that dude transferred to another location the next week. And
he's in witness protection.
Real talk.
This nigga just said, I know where your kids stay at, dog.
Bruh, I'm just saying, anybody can be touching. If you feel
can get it. See?
I'm just saying.
Word.
People know people that know people.
How many bodies you got? Don't answer.
Hey, we're
next subject.
Let's switch subjects. You want Do you want to get into the political arena a little bit? 151. I know you dibble dabble a little bit.
I want to know which one of y'all niggas gonna be watching Romania this Sunday. And if y'all are, where y'all gonna be watching? I'm trying to hang out.
I'll be working.
Bro, I don't know.
Y'all are trash. Y'all are trash.
Anyway. Gotta be something in life. But I'm good at it.
No Spots podcast.
We could,
My bad.
we could do. Actually, I haven't even watched politics. The last thing I watched, honestly, is it's of course because it's entertainment.
I know you know about the Joe Biden situation.
Oh yeah,
They got my man's in there.
Okay.
We
can talk about that.
Yeah, we got to talk about the Joe Biden situation.
So, oh my gosh,
They got my man's in there.
so shout out to Bill Clinton and all creepy Democrats.
Shout out.
Kissing was on the back of the neck, or doing an Eskimo nose rub.
Yeah,
I mean, these are things that if you are planning to run for president, you really can't do. No. I mean, the only person that got away with it was saying grab him by the pussy was Donald Trump. Like, you're Joe Biden. You can't do that. You can't, just.
Maybe he thinks that'll work to get him elected.
I mean,
but these are past things that people are coming out saying.
I mean, well, just because you watch Pornhub does not make it a reality.
I mean, from
Pornhub is a shit. Don't hate.
Hey, but you can't do Pornhub to every girl.
No doubt.
You just can't walk. I'm gonna blow in your ear, shit, and her panties gonna come off. That shit's not gonna happen. I don't care if you are the vice president or a senator or a governor.
Ain't gonna work here, player.
That shit is not gonna work. That's a false reality that people have. Unfortunately, people in positions of power, certain men in positions of power, think they're entitled to something.
True that.
And we live in an era now that it's just not acceptable. The same way from R. Kelly to Bill Cosby, Joe Biden. The only person, I ain't gonna say Trump got away with it and Bill Clinton got away with it because it took him a while to get him out of office. Hey, but because his joint was even way before his presidency. Yeah. So we're in a Me Too era now. And in some cases, a him too era. Shout out to Carly B victims.
Yo.
So we're in an era that certain things aren't just acceptable and you can't do. And your past will come back to haunt you.
No doubt.
Like, I'm sure when you get famous, there'll be a dude like, that guy robbed me behind USA Arena. That dude right there.
Allegedly. Ain't no proof.
You already know there's gonna be a couple chicks come out saying, "Man, he pissed on me after he gave me some trash."
He pissed on me.
That will never happen.
He pissed on my red bottoms.
I bought him, bitch.
See, that sounds like a true story right there. That sounds like he said that he had a little bit of humor, a lot of anger in that voice. You gotta peep that. A little bit of humor, a lot of anger in that voice. I think that really happened. Somewhere out there, there's a tape. Let's check ATM machines.
Oh, shit. Well, I just got the word from GOP on the Facebook Live feed. They had car trouble. Unfortunately, he won't be able to make it tonight.
So we get to cut up some more, huh?
Oh my God.
Yo, GOP, shout out, man. Hopefully everything's all right, though.
Yeah, man, I'll hit you up after the show, see what's going on. But, this whole, because at first, the first one, I was like, okay. Then the second one, when he had the hands on the chick's shoulders while her husband was doing the press conference, she came out and said she didn't feel uncomfortable. She was nervous. She didn't feel nothing was wrong with it. Then I found out 2 more cases came out with the Eskimo nose joint. Then it was something else that supposedly came out that I didn't get a chance to research, so I'm not going to speak on it. But
look, man, if you're not grabbing women inappropriate or doing drugs in Washington, D.C., then you're not a good congressman. You're not into D.C.
You're not
politics.
doing your job.
It's not a surprise. It really is. It's sad, but of course, as we get closer to re-election, they're going to pull out all the stops to make the other candidates look inappropriate. Like, that was the easiest thing that they did with Hillary Clinton, was she wasn't a likable person. They just made her look inappropriate. So we start now with Joe Biden. Yeah, you got to start now because he's a former vice president.
Yeah, it's ugly, man.
So if you're going to run for office, and Joe Biden, when he was hot, this should have came out and we should have had him instead of Hillary, and him and Bernie would have made a great team.
But they pushed Hillary.
Yeah, but we got the Wicked Witch of the West, and that's why we lost to the hairline troll. So if you're going to do these things, like, the more and more it comes, like, he's a New Yorker and I'm a New Yorker. We are great at mudslinging. I will mudsling somebody for no reason. Like just because you breathe, and let me just talk bad about you. And we're great about that. And then you take that attitude into a political arena. As I said it before on previous shows, Trump's a bully. So when you take that attitude, you put it into a political arena, like you got to be prepared for that. You got to be prepared to weather the storm. Joe Biden, like I said, he should have struck when the iron was hot, and now it's cold. He has to be able to weather the storm.
Yeah, but what's crazy is he's a cyberbully. His first lady has an anti-cyberbullying campaign, but nobody talks about it.
His first lady's a hostage.
I agree.
Listen,
I agree.
She looks like a hostage. Polo Stacks just walking
I
the
see
building.
we got Polo Stacks in the building, so we might as well go ahead and get him on up here.
Yeah, well, come on up here.
Come on up here, brother.
That's a
Come on
perfect
up here.
segue.
Go
for-
way up
About you
here.
earlier.
Don't talk about me behind my back, man.
You know what?
My nigga.
You
It's all
know what I was
positive, my
wondering,
nigga.
Polo? You know what I was wondering as you were walking up here? Why didn't you send me an MP3 instead of a SoundCloud link? I was like, you know what? When I was like, I was like,
about it, and then
I was about to send you I was going to send you an angry ass text after we got off air. Like, Negro, you know.
Got to send that man an MP3 or will not get played.
But we played the song. You and Sammy Rockstar joint. That joint was banging. So I like that joint.
Thank you.
No doubt, but
CP3 was gonna beatbox on and do the remix.
Nah, we changed it up though. We said we're gonna go ahead and let it ride the way it went out.
Yeah.
But this would be a perfect segue to go ahead and get into some of the recent tragedy in LA with Nipsey Hussle.
Definitely.
And Ego, you want to pull that picture up? With
That shit is sick.
I really don't know too much about him, so I've been finding out about him, researching. So I'll let the gentleman who definitely probably hit more home than has more insight about this.
So what's crazy about this is that, and this he was a leader, motivator. He was a dude that was actually giving back to his hood. He had the marathon clothing. He was buying businesses in his own hood. The gentleman who wound up who actually got caught, they got him, but who shot him. He was allegedly a former friend, was trying to get signed with him, and Nipsey was like, well, you know, you're snitching on certain people. I can't be affiliated with that. Dude went back to his car. He shot him, and then he got caught trying to turn himself into a mental institution to say that he wasn't in his right state of mind, which this just seems like it's premeditated murder.
I'm going to tell you like Boosie said, 90% of the rappers die in their own city. That's why you always see me on the road.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't get that buzz on what I got from here. You saying what I did, I went on tour with it with my own money. You know what I'm saying? The best thing is just to get away. Get away because a motherfucker who don't know you embrace you, you know what I'm saying? Especially if your music hot, or especially whatever you're doing is hot. You know what I'm saying? Embrace you more than the people in your own city. Because you might have been in third grade with me. Now I'm a millionaire. You feel like I owe you something because we went to school together.
Yeah.
Like, come on, just petty nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, get that sucker shit out your blood, man. Like, for real. And it just, I get so fed up. That's why I ain't gonna take a time bomb, but I snap at a split second. I ain't gonna let no sucker kill me. It is what it is. Period. You know what I'm saying? You got another thing coming if you think it's just sweet like that. Like, we ain't even playing them type games. You feel me?
I mean, that's the craziness. I mean, and that's one of the reasons I know for a long time you had stopped. You know, you had shut down the Howard Theater like 3 times. There wasn't too much left for you to do in the city besides, Capital One Arena. That's really left. But you had been, like I said, and like I was telling the young man that was here, I was like, Polo's a great mentor because he's been on the road for a minute. Like, he was doing out-of-state tours before people who started going out-of-state. Right. People were just happy with being hot on the block. And
out-of-state, out-of-country, all that.
Yeah.
Like,
no doubt.
It don't stop. The grind will never stop.
It's so sad, though, because he's right, though. You get more love and you're more safe going to other people's blocks at times, going to other people's hoods.
That's for real.
Sad but true.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I went out Cali with 30,000 on me. Them niggas looked at me like, damn, you came all the way out here by yourself? Yeah. Man, I respect you for that, cuz. You got that rack on me, though, you hear me? Got that whole sack on me, though, you hear me? Yeah, I don't fit nothing but God, homes. It's gonna happen, but 9 times out of 10, it's gonna happen in my city. It ain't gonna never happen outside of my city. Never gonna happen outside of the territory. Because they love you, they respect you way more when you step outside that box.
Definitely.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just logics. That's always what it's been. That's always what it's gonna be. You feel what I'm saying? Every big name rapper who made it where? Out of town.
Out of town.
Never made it in the city. Never. You can't name one person who made it in their city. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're talking NWA and then Tupac and all that. That's we talking today's time though. You feel me?
Yeah.
Facts.
Whole
Facts,
different
though.
climate now.
Facts. A whole different climate. I mean, you got all these wild, goofy motherfuckers running around with guns who just want to shoot, but then when they get in that jail cell, they don't want to see a nigga. When a nigga want to check you for your commissary, or a nigga want to check you for
And
your
you ain't got the
motherfucking
pistol.
pillow and your
Got that
mattress.
pistol, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, real
Whole
life, though.
different ball
Like,
game.
these niggas suckers for real. They suckers running around with guns. Period. That's how I look at it. And it's whatever with whoever.
I saw.
You can tell them I said it.
I saw the story about Nipsey. I've heard of Nipsey. I never really listened to his music, but as I saw the stories about how the gentleman was giving back to his community, he wasn't. They of course they had to mention the whole he's got connection to the Crips and everything, and I'm just like, why the fuck are y'all? Why is that even relevant?
Because you got to think about this. That's a black man. That's a black man at the end of the day. So the black man, you always gonna put all the negativity on him when you talking in the news medias and all that.
That's a
You
fact.
know what I'm saying? He was a gang violence. He is this and that. He woo. What about the positive things he did?
Exactly.
What about the stores he opened up? What about all these men he gave jobs? What about all these real estate joints he opened up?
Yeah.
What about buying a hood? What about, you know what I'm saying? All this though.
He was-
I don't want to bring that up though.
Yeah,
It's
they tell
people to
always
college,
more
right?
good. It's always the positivity always weigh out the negativity when you on the road.
Yeah,
Always.
exactly.
But they always gonna find a reason to bring up that negative moment.
And that's sad to me
Always.
because like the young man obviously was giving back to his hood, and was doing good for his neighborhood. It wasn't like he was out here, sitting in some club somewhere popping bottles, forgetting about where he came from. He was where he came from. Period. And he did things for where he came from. And to just see this happen, it's just it's sad. It's really sad because now you look at that and it's like this can really happen to anybody, especially somebody who's trying to do something positive for where they're from. This can happen to anybody. And it really just makes, especially me myself, because I have a son, and this generation already made me nervous even before he was even thought of. And now that I have a son, I'm even more nervous each and every day that he grows up in this climate, because I'm afraid that he's going to get to that age where he's going to start, become an adult, and things are going to happen. And how am I going to, my main thought is, how am I going to shield him from this? That's the only thing I can think about is like, how am I going to shield him from this when I feel like I can't?
My kids go to private school.
Mine does too.
You can call them what you want. My kids go to private school. My kids nerds. That's what I call them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they'll be called in school. My kids nerds. I'll keep it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I put them on that path for a reason, because they're going to grow up and they're going to go to college and they're going to do all this. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all see it a lot. My oldest daughter, she's amazing with this cheer thing. Every cheer team she's been on, they went to the national championship. They been winning national championships. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I keep them on a path, a different path that I've been on. I was on a road to destruction. I'm not putting them on that road. You know what I'm saying? So it's about the environment that you got them in. It's about the environment that you keep them in, the people that you got them around. You know what I mean? So if they're around positivity, that's all it's gonna be plugged in their brain. Positivity.
No
I
doubt.
can't think negative because I don't see nothing negative. Or if I see negative, even if I'm talking like you, talking to my son, okay, I know what to avoid. I'm gonna tell you about the negative and I'm gonna tell you about the positive, and you choose your path.
Yeah.
This what the positive gonna lead to, but this is the negative gonna lead to. You know what I mean? And you gonna choose your path. You know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna be on that road to destruction. That's just not gonna happen.
Amen.
No
It's
doubt.
not gonna happen at all. So it's just like, I mean, you your biggest mentor to your kids.
That's true.
To them, you their biggest mentor. You feel what I'm saying? Like they go off with what they see, they go off with what they hear. That's why I talk to my kids like they grown, cause you gonna know what's up. So when I get older, I already know this. I already been here. My father told me this. My father talked to me. You know what I'm saying? I talk to them like they grown.
That's what you got to. You got to inform them.
Even my 5-year-old, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to, though. Like,
but the one thing I say about this, you do a great job. You balance between the music, mentoring, and then doing. You always, you know, you're not. You so tough that you could put stuff up about your family. Like you're not, you know. I think that's a good job. Like, you know, because being a father is you balancing stuff.
right.
No
So
doubt.
I think that's one of the greatest things. One of the greatest things that get overlooked about certain things that you do and stuff like that. We know you can shut down stages. We know that you make hella songs. But as a father and as a man, like I see you represent for, and that's good to see another black man represent like that for his kids. Because not everybody do that. We could pop bottles on Facebook all day long, but when you know, hey, I'm at a cheerleading event for my daughter. I think I salute you for that. That's always a great move.
It's a beautiful thing. But it's almost time to get out of here. Polo, let's wrap up. And what you got popping off and going on? What can we expect from Mr. Stack soon?
Man, you can expect the unexpected, man. I'm put it like that, man. We got a car club thing popping, man. Actually, we're an auto family. We don't look at it no car club, you know what I'm saying? People, when we say car club, they think it's a gang. We got the OCA clothing line popping. Still got my music thing going, you know what I'm saying? 2020, we going back on the road. We going back on tour, you know what I'm saying? Bigger and better. Last year was Post Malone. It was 2 years ago, actually. Post Malone and Tory Lanez. This year, we coming back stronger than ever. Like, y'all gonna be amazed this time around. That's all I'm gonna say. You hear me?
That's all. That's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Wish you nothing but luck and ready success to about to handle your business as always.
www.polostacks.com, and you can get that new single, Rockstars, featuring Samuel Blanco, on iTunes, Google Play, wherever. You know what I'm saying?
Spotify, Tidal.
Yeah, I mean, wherever.
These
wherever
it's all
That's
music
right.
platforms.
Keep shining,
All
King.
streaming platforms.
Keep shining,
You can
King.
always check it out on Tru Radio on WLVS because we played it tonight.
Better know.
And not even gonna go through the whole rundown. We ready to get out of here. So you know where to find us. Tru Radio Network, Sports on the Hill Podcast, WLVS Radio, Wednesday night show, and we out.
Peace.
See ya.